I grew up in a coffee farm. Some people don't like living out here. They'd rather have Fifth Avenue, which is wonderful. I love Manhattan, but I'd rather be here, of course. I'm Israel Gonzalez, and we're at Sandra Farms in Adjuntas, Puerto Rico. The idea is to do the very best possible coffee in this microclimate we have here. 2 years after the hurricane, somehow the trees have not totally healed, but mostly healed, and they have given us a real bumper crop. Beautiful, a blessing of a harvest. Coffee picking is one of the toughest jobs. Good coffee is picked by hand, and workers throughout the world in the coffee industry, probably the ones that get paid the least at the bottom of the ladder.
My name is Domenico Celli. The main focus here is trying to use Sandra Farms as a model. We want to support an agricultural, agrarian way of life in Puerto Rico. So the people that we have in mind are the farm workers and families and communities here in some of the most rural and remote areas of Puerto Rico that have traditionally been dependent on agriculture as their main source of income and culturally their way of life. So it's very important that we're able to pay the workers very well. Our coffee pickers, we pay 2 to 3 times the average here in Puerto Rico, and that is because, above all, we're committed to making this a viable way of life for these people and their families. The collaboration with Re3D has been important here at the farm and to our workers in a number of ways. Most agricultural workers in Puerto Rico traditionally are the forgotten people here, and that's reinforced through what they use to pick coffee with, which is mostly just fertilizer bags or really uncomfortable 5-gallon buckets that are not at all made for coffee picking.
The 5-gallon plastic bucket, it's functional, it works, cheap, but not ideal, not ergonomic. The 3D printed basket is distinctive because of the ergonomic shape. A kind of half moon opening facilitates if your hand is more towards your right or left, you don't have to go around, you just drop it right there. I think we probably lose less beans because it's easier to put them in.
This is Gigabot X or GBX. This is our pellet 3D printer that prints with pellets or recycled regrind. We partnered with a farm in Puerto Rico to use that as a case study to 3D print a coffee basket for them using recycled PET and Gigabot X. We wanted to focus on quick production and cheaper cost per unit, so we chose to use a larger nozzle, but there are many issues that come with that, a lot of oozing, lower quality print, so we had to do a lot of optimization of print settings to get a higher quality print. We realized that what we really needed to do was vase mode, which is printing in a continuous stream with less stopping in the middle of the print. And for that, we had to redesign the actual part itself so that the perimeter was only 1 layer thick.
The design process was very interactive. I did 1 prototype, sent it to them. They made some changes, like widening the design, changing the height of the basket. We just came back and forth on the design process.
Based on user feedback, we changed the design of the coffee basket to work better for the farmers. They needed to carry a certain amount of coffee beans, so we made the depth deeper. And we also made it more ergonomic so that it fit around the waist more comfortably. We also added a brim so that these workers can use straps to attach the basket and carry it.
The reaction of such joy and excitement from the coffee pickers, seeing these baskets that were actually made for them and thoughtfully designed to be comfortable for them, was amazing to see and really unexpected, and something that we didn't really even fully understand or think about what an impact that would make on the workers' morale. And then also in practicality, the way that we designed them with Re3D was so that the opening would be wide so that a picker going through the field on uneven terrain is able to quickly pick coffee without it falling. Traditionally, pickers would use a sack, and it's hard to keep it open with one hand, put coffee into it in the other, and then be efficient in a day where you're trying to optimize how quickly you can get through the fields, because pickers for seasonal work picking coffee are paid by the pound. And so that one increases efficiency, allows the pickers to work through faster without risking losing money, which is every cherry that's dropped. And then 2, just the comfort of having it contour to the hip.
We had wondered whether they could take the beating on the job, at the farm. Can the bottom hold? Yeah, they do very well. The latest ones can hold between 15 to 17 pounds without overflowing.
I see a huge potential for Gigabot X in Puerto Rico in multiple applications. Unfortunately, our recycling systems here in Puerto Rico are very outdated, not very efficient, and in reality, not very much, if anything at all, is recycled. So much better alternative would be able to actually have a way to repurpose and use that waste and know that it's going to some sort of practical application, something that could be repurposed and reused.
The way that a part is designed and printed has a huge effect on how long it takes to print, how much material it is, and at the end of the day, the bottom line for the cost. So I think it's really important to get these real-world case studies and get that user feedback so that we can assess how viable of a solution this is for them, how much we can help improve over the current solution that they're using Gigabot X 3D printing and recycled materials. We're so thankful for the Puerto Rico Science, Technology and Research Trust and the National Science Foundation for funding our research into using Gigabot X.